Hello there, yeah. I just wanted to make a little quick video in regards to some recent videos and responses and activity on the Freeman on the land movement and other such movements. You know, I did a video talking about Freeman on the land. If you don't know about it, check it out. You see it often, like, you know, fmotl or the other, whatever. And you see Freeman on the land, and because obviously it's in my search terms somewhere, because I was like talking about it and the advantages and disadvantages and things, and there's like a certain type of person that comes and finds then the video, you know. It seems to be quite obvious that most of them, like, they type in then Freeman on the land pretty much every day or maybe every week religiously, and then find a channel who's done a new video with that search term, and then they'll go to that channel and write in the comments box, you know, Freeman on the land are all idiots, you know, and kind of different levels of ridicule, you know. And I find it okay. I'm not really offended by it. I wish people had used a little bit more intelligence when using comments, because I can't learn anything from something like that. I can just say, okay, yeah, you know, I get your opinion, I'll skip read it a little bit, you know, because I know that person hasn't even watched my video, because their response doesn't match usually most of the things that I've said. They've kind of got halfway through, fallen into my trap of being presumptuous, you know, which is also, like, you know, anybody who's presumed to that point that my video says that is not competent to talk to me about law, if they've already made a judgment at that point. So it's my filter. So those people I don't need to worry about then. They've already fallen into my first trap. But they're not really nasty traps, I'm saying, obviously. It's just my own, like, little way of just making sure that I'm being fair, and that people are like, you know, sorting themselves out. So this kind of person comes to my channel and writes then some comment. And it's not just now, it's not just me, it's all different, you know. But it's a specific person. And I think to myself, because I don't advocate the Freeman on the land movement, but I've watched a lot of people actually sacrifice themselves, sadly enough, to, you know, like trying out things and getting into trouble. But I did learn. So yeah, it was the sacrifice of the lamb a little bit. But yeah, back to the topic. These people type in Freeman on the land, find a video, and then, like, feel the need to ridicule or pressure or to warn people. Now, I'm not saying this is bad. In fact, it has it's honourable in certain ways. I just ask myself, who is so dedicated to like stopping people, or to, you know, stopping people from looking at something that's anyway not really that popular and doesn't make, you know. Why are people so dedicated to like, you know, warning people away from it, ridiculing it, so make sure people don't look at the Freeman on the land? It's rubbish, don't do it, go away, you stupid. You know, I can understand spending a lot of time ridiculing the government. Oh, don't vote for this party, don't vote for that party, this is wrong, that's wrong. But such a small group as the Freeman on the land, and such a crackpot group who've got nothing, obviously they're so crazy that nobody should even bother. So why do we? You know, why do you bother, you know, to find that thing? So the kind of person, I'm thinking to myself, okay, these people who are so dedicated to being anti-Freeman are probably either themselves like a traffic warden who's got the blunt end of the stick, or some kind of like policy enforcer, or, you know, legislation enforcer, law enforcer, if you like, bureaucrat, politician, you know, somebody who works in administration, somewhere where the law is necessary. That is one, you know, or someone close in the family is like, you know, your father or whatever, is like connected with that system. So therefore you're getting the blunt end of the stick, and you've got to stop these people being free men on the land. The second one, I think, is then that maybe you've like got sucked into it yourself, and you've like seen our free man on the land. That sounds exactly what's right for me. I don't want to live on this planet. I don't want to, you know. So you like go into the internet, find a lot of like templates and documents that you can actually print out and send to the court without knowing what they mean, you know, without the legal competence actually using any of the freemen on the land offered, remedies or whatever without knowing. So, and it didn't work. You tried the remedy, it didn't work, and then you got slapped for it, and you got into trouble for it. So now you're deciding to warn people from getting into the same trouble that you've got, which is kind of honourable, but at the same time it was probably your own sort of, like, if you just did that particular thing just to send away paper, it would be your own stupidity and short-sightedness that you should warn people about. Not sending off like finished paperwork already without understanding it. Third reason, your best friend is a freeman on the land and he pisses you off because you're an abiding tax-paying citizen and he doesn't like paying tax, and he doesn't agree with funding the military and funding everything, paying tax for a system that we disagree in, especially when the taxpayers are not doing anything to make sure that their tax money goes on the right things, So the tax-paying aspect just becomes a nationalism in a way as well. So it's like our country, that could be a thing, pride in a country, pride in the law, pride in the system and in the Queen, and that this kind of patriotic, out of a patriotic aspect. I suppose somebody could diss the freeman, like go against the freeman. In actual fact, a lot of freemen on the land, what I've seen, feel that the country's been taken over, and that we're actually living in a state of, what do they call it, mutiny, or I don't know, where we've been already hijacked and taken over by the wrong leader. So anybody who really is nationalistic should take that perspective of the fact that maybe we've already been invaded and now we need to get our true company back. The world's growing, so to me nationality is dying out anyway. It's globality anyway next. Law is universal, it's worldwide, so being national about your law, actually thinking that you should abide by the law because you pay, somebody else pays tax in that country, it's just a futile argument anyway. But there's that kind of person. So I've got these people, the one who's getting the blunt end of the stick, who's like a traffic warden or knows somebody who's a policy enforcer. 2 is the one who's tried it themselves and got into trouble with it. 3 is the person who has got a friend who won't shut up about it. And 4 is the patriotism, the patriotic aspect. But I still don't understand why somebody would put so much effort into this small minority group. I only get like so many views. I do find it interesting though, because I'm trying to find a solution for everybody. So for you who's come to this video searching for the word freeman on the land in order to call me a freetard or whatever, don't really matter, go ahead, because I don't follow any of that. But you would have probably made that presumption from the label, because this whole thing works off social labelling. If you can find a label for somebody and then ridicule it, that's how it works, isn't it? But in a sense, the freeman on the land is a stupid thing anyway. It's a label in itself, same as anarchy. If you're an anarchist, you can't force anarchy on someone else. And the thing is, if but that's a different topic. Most people still need to look up a lot of words and the definitions before I'll even enter a proper debate. Alright then, if you can think of another type of person who'd want to adopt so much time and energy to discredit or bring down or ridicule such a minority group that has anyway got so much dissing, write it in the comments box below. Alright then. See you later.